everybody, this is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show. Behind me is Loki, my cat. He says hi. Um, anyway, I hope all is well and you have a good weekend. Um, so anyway, there's some developments over the weekend and some historical news that happened, and I don't know if any of you caught it. Um, okay, there we go. I had leaned back because I didn't want Loki to fall off. Anyway, according to Midas Touch, Trump had basically given his his advisors the boot. In other words, he fired them. And of course, with this late in the game, there's like less than 20 days left for the elections to start. This coming Thursday, in 3 days, early voting will start in most states. Okay. And of course, you see a lot of this misinformation and untruths floating around. It's like, those guys need to shut up. They really do. So just really check out, do Snopes. Use Snopes to check out in other words, fact checking. Make sure whatever information out there is true. I'm a little sick and tired of some of these other news sources don't check the facts, and they need to stop. Hi, Nancy. They need to stop promoting Trump's crap and be on the proper side of history. Okay. Anyway, he gave his advisors the boot. And of course, knowing Trump, he doesn't listen to anybody or anything. He thinks he knows it all. Well, he doesn't really. And also, he has some mental issues, which is, to me, it's showing signs of dementia more than anything. And of course, with his psychopathic lying and his narcissism is causing some big issues. But in the end, he will lose. He will lose big, and Vice President Harris will win. She will win. They keep saying some polls that Harris is slipping and everything else, which is not true. I don't pay attention to the polls at all. A lot of people aren't, and you don't see very many polls being posted now. You see a lot more picture worth 1,000 words in a rally is what you see a lot more of. Because every time you watch Vice President Harris's rallies, there's thousands of people there cheering for. In other words, they want somebody that leads and has compassion and really helps and sincere. Okay? We need more people like Vice President Harris. Soon to be President Harris. I just got my, yesterday, speaking of voting, I just got my voters pamphlet. And of course, they got several initiatives here in the state that I have to study over and, get proper information on. But key to it all of it is do your research. Do your homework. Do your research in order to make a comfortable decision, okay? So anyway, Trump being his antics and saying things that are wrong, and his one mouthpiece Chung guy is such an idiot. I just ignore it, pretty much, So, I don't watch any of Trump's rallies. His rallies are so pathetic now. They're little tiny crowds. Oh, and speaking of which, was it yesterday or was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. He held a, Trump supposedly held a rally in Coachella Valley in California, which is out in the desert. And he was doing a speech. Well, it got to the point where people were saying, well, screw it, and they were leaving. Well, there were only 3 buses running. At the beginning, there were 20 buses. And all of a sudden, they're down to 3, 2 buses, 1 bus. And a lot of the people have trouble mobility-wise and everything else. He left them stranded. He left his supporters stranded. And they have like a 2-hour walk to their cars. Well, why park so far out is what I don't get. You know. So anyway, he is now, Trump had not paid any of the cities or any of the, for the venues or anything. They should go after his assets. In other words, get him down to such bare bones more than anything. And when Trump loses, he will go to prison. I hope when his sentencing is, I hope it's very pointed sentencing. In other words, I think he should be in jail for 14 years to life or whatever, and held there until you complete all the other trials, and they'll probably slap on more sentencing thing. And the worst one is espionage, which he's been doing. And he's in trouble for that, too. Now, the other part is the Supreme Court. And I was listening to Michael Popak on Eagle AF on the Supreme Court. I think now there's some changes that need to be made in the Supreme Court. They need to follow the rules the same as everybody else in the court system. They should not be held separately or done separately. They should be all in the same boat. In other words, they have to follow what lower courts rules are and ethical rules and everything. And I think now the Supreme Court justices, some of them, including Roberts and Alito and some of the others, need to be removed. And they can only serve 2 terms. Serve 4-year terms, same as the president. And, they need to be, their ethics, they need to be held a higher standard. Because the office of Supreme Court is a higher standard. They should not be above the law. And they should not mess with the Constitution. That's my thing. Now, yesterday, history was made. I don't know if any of you watched it or saw it on YouTube. I watched the Launchpad, which is run by Zach. And, hi, Carol! You sure did. I watched the Launchpad. I watched the historical launch yesterday of Starship 5. I don't know if any of you saw it, but if you can, go to YouTube, find the Launchpad, do a search on it, Launchpad, click on that. You can subscribe. You don't necessarily have to be a member, but subscribe. And you can watch all the space exploration and everything that's going on. He does broadcasts. He does rocket launches, exploration, space, space exploration research. Since continuing on. Well, with Starship 5, they did a successful catch of the booster with their chopsticks tower, their launch tower, which has chopsticks. The booster came back and perfect nail on, settle down landing on it and everything. And it was excellent. It was beautifully done. And then the rocket itself went around. No, this is different. The launch yesterday was Starship 5, Nancy. This is out of Starbase out of Boca Chica, Texas. This is for flight testing, which they did with that ship. Anyway, that rocket, Starship 5, went around the planet once, and then it splashed down in the Indian Ocean, where all the other space debris is, and that's being built as a natural reef down there. Today, the one that happened today was the Europa Clipper, which is to Jupiter. That happened today, and that was used by a Falcon Heavy rocket to boost it into orbit. That happened early this morning, and it was really interesting. They're doing it, and you need to keep up the rockets, girl. That's how you do it. That's how you learn about space and about science, what they're working on. In Jupiter, they're finding out Europa Moon has an ocean inside the moon. They're finding out all kinds of things about it. And so they're sending the Clipper over to study it, take measurements, study it, do probes, that thing with it. And it's very interesting. And all this is being run by NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California. There's a number of other universities and that do like applied sciences for like physics and space exploration and everything else to do this project. This project with Europa Clipper was 20 years in the making, okay? It took that long to build the Clipper probe, and right now it's headed toward Jupiter right now. So this is not only with the space exploration, this helps us by communication, all kinds of things that help with everyday life more than anything. It is very interesting. So when you go to Launchpad, he has a whole bunch of videos there you could watch, and they have experts that teach you what they're doing, what is working, what's not working, and including like in rocket flight tests like SpaceX is doing right now. The launch yesterday was a big milestone for them. This is the number of first steps in order to perfect it. And the next mission is going to the moon. They're help SpaceX is part of the Artemis program, so they're going to be helping with that. People thought they were going to use the Saturn V, and no, they retired the Saturn V rocket. That rocket is made up of different components with it, so they retired the rocket, no longer being used. So they're using SpaceX's rocket, like Falcon Heavy, which is the big. You have their main booster, and then you have two side boosters, and it's a big rocket on that one. A little bit bigger and taller than Falcon 9. but it's interesting to watch. And if you remember growing up, I don't know if any of you do, watching the Apollo programs, like the Apollo 13 program, different Apollo programs, um, and hold on a second. I'm sending that to voicemail. So anyway, other than that, yeah, just watch it. And Launchpad is very informative on this. Because you don't see very many big, the main news corporations covering this type of thing. Why they don't, I don't know. I remember CBS, NBC, ABC covering the Apollo launches until I don't know whether they lost interest or they're just being picky. Let's see. Oh, another thing too, guys. Be sure to protect yourself from scammers. Not only online, but on the phone. You could go online to your computer and go up to where the search bar is and put in the phone number that was calling you, and there's a record whether they tell you it's from somebody, whether it's a scammer or whatever, or a hacker or whatever. Look up that phone number. You could do that. Now, I have scammer and protection on this phone, so, and I just like them. So, yeah, I remember the Apollo flights too. I remember landing on the moon, or landing on the moon 50 years ago. It was really amazing. And that's how, like, computers and pretty soon cell phone, even eventually our tablets came into being. But many of the items that they used on, like, you're watching the television series Star Trek, that's where the ideas came from. So, Europa Clipper will get to Jupiter about 5.5 years from now. Where it takes a year and a half, a year and it depends on the rocket and everything. It takes about anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half to get to Mars. Okay? It's usually a year and a half to Mars. Then you have another 5.5 years to Jupiter. So it'll be about 2031, 2032 when Europa Clipper will arrive. But they have a long-standing crew that rotates, shifts and everything else to monitor it and everything else. He said it takes, for all the communication takes about an hour and a half to get back. Where it takes from Mars to here, takes about an hour. I think an hour and 30 minutes to get here. But they're constantly working on speeding up the communication all the time. They're trying to make it faster. So, it's going to be interesting how that turns out. Now, my last thing I'm going to talk about is this. Voting. Be sure to vote. It's very, very important. It's a civic duty that we are assigned to, but do your research. vote on the right side of history. In other words, the positive side of history. That's what I call it. Being positive. Don't go for the darker and the negative, like he who shall not be named. Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. He really doesn't. Any of his supporters don't know what they're talking about because they don't want to learn anything new. And when somebody does show them the knowledge and does show them the facts, they get all upset about it and go, well, that's just too bad, you know. And of course, when you try to put out the facts and say, well, why can't we do this? And they say, oh, well, you're preaching to the choir. Well, excuse me, I don't care if I'm preaching to the choir. It's what we want to make things better for ourselves, for you and I and everybody else. It's not just for one person. It's for everybody. And we have the potential to make things better for ourselves. Okay? That's why I like Vice President Harris, soon to be President Harris. That's why I like Vice President Harris. She is putting out programs and ideas she knows that would make it better for everybody. And I wish corporations and super billionaires and trillionaires would start donating money to help with these programs and help people that are, let's say, struggling more than anything, or trying to keep their head above water. Start helping out. It really would help, because in that sense, everything comes full circle. Okay? So, corporations need to stop being afraid of competition. And the medium-sized corporations need to stop browbeating small business. Stop being afraid of competition. You want competition to be healthy. That's how the business world is healthier, when there's competition. Okay? My question to them is, I go, what are you afraid of? Why are you so afraid of small business? Many people that own a business prefer the small side of it, okay? They prefer the one-on-one closeness with their customers. They make friends with their customers. They help them out. They, help the community. They sponsor things. That type of thing, okay? So anyway, do your civic duty. Vote. Vote in every election, whether it's every 4 years and or off years. Vote for the midterms, vote for the presidential elections, general elections, and be sure to vote blue. All up and down the side. Don't vote Republican. That's right. That's very true, Nancy. This is what was drummed into me in business school. And they also need to put teeth in there to stop the price gouging. I go, why is it necessary to have the price so high? Is it really a true price? Like on gasoline, for example. In gasoline, you have regular gasoline. Then you have diesel. Diesel is a byproduct of gasoline. It's not true form of gasoline, but it's a byproduct. Well, they have diesel so high it's not even funny. It's stupid. Gasoline should be what? Oh, I would love to see gasoline at 99 cents a gallon. That's where I like to see it. And these companies are so afraid of lowering the price. Well, we're not going to get a profit. And I go, you're going to get the same profit. Like these billionaires afraid of helping out, paying their taxes, they're still going to be rich. All they're doing is helping with the infrastructure because they use the infrastructure. Okay? I think they're forgetting that. So, anyway, I'm going to go and get a quick lunch. And let me check my schedule for a minute. Hold on a second. Let me check my calendar. Calendar. Where are you, calendar? Okay, I'll see you on Friday at 1 o'clock, as always. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Root for your favorite baseball and football teams. I'm rooting for the LA Dodgers now that the Mariners are no longer in the running, but for the Dodgers, I'm rooting for them. Because I like to see the World Series trophy stay on the West Coast. I will see you guys later, and we'll post this on my YouTube channel, as always. And be sure to share, tell your friends, family, whatever. You want the truth more than anything. So have a good week. I'll see you on Friday, and please take care, stay safe, keep an eye to the sky, because Mother Nature's not done with us yet. So, okay, I'll see you later. Love you all. Bye-bye. And thank you. See you in the next video.